That truck behind me was trying to kill me. I slammed on the brakes immediately. Using a drift maneuver, I steered my car onto the dirt road beside the highway, but I was going way too fast. The car started shaking like crazy, then crashed into the guardrail beside me. After the car came to a stop, my face turned white as a sheet. If I hadn't reacted fast enough, I'd be dead right now. At that moment, an old man rushed over asking if I was okay. Fortunately, I only had a minor neck injury. Then I stumbled out of the car. My heart was pounding like a drum. I needed to calm down before I could keep driving. But when I walked into the restaurant to take a break, I saw a shocking sight through the window. That tanker truck from earlier had actually turned around and come back. That driver didn't get what he wanted. He definitely wasn't going to let me off the hook. I figured that driver must be blending in with the crowd to stay safe. I just needed to talk it out with him. An apology should solve the problem. That's when I noticed a pair of shoes that looked just like the truck driver's shoes, with all these people around. I was too embarrassed to go apologize directly. I could only wait until he was alone. It wasn't long before the big guy who finished his beer was getting ready to leave the restaurant. I sat in my chair trembling with fear. I watched him head toward the tanker truck. But what completely caught me off guard was that guy drove off in a pickup truck. Obviously, I had the wrong person. But who is the truck driver really? I desperately wanted to find that person. Just then, another person appeared in front of me. This man across from me, whether by gut feeling, everything indicated he was that mysterious truck driver. Then, without saying a word, I walked up to him, begging him to leave me alone. But faced with this stranger's apology, this man had no clue what was happening. Until I mentioned calling the police, he felt like I was threatening him, then immediately stood up and started fighting with me. I was quickly pinned to the ground. Luckily, the restaurant owner came over to break it up in time. But what I didn't expect was, when that man walked out the door, he drove off in another blue truck. This meant he wasn't the tanker truck driver. I knew I'd gotten beaten up for nothing. But the next second, I saw the tanker truck just driving away like that. I immediately chased after it. But no matter how I cursed at that truck driver from behind, he showed no sign of stopping. Watching the tanker truck slowly disappear, I had no choice but to give up. I continued driving to work, but it wasn't long before I was stopped by a barrier up ahead. A train happened to be crossing the tracks in front. Right at that moment, I suddenly felt something bump my rear end. I found that same tanker truck from earlier had somehow appeared behind me and was gunning the engine harder and harder, trying to push me onto the train tracks.